Where do I start? So many things to talk about. I think, when you play a team like Arkansas, we talked about it earlier in the week. They will expose you. And if your eyes are in the wrong place, if you don't use the proper technique or fundamentals or details to execute, you're going to be behind, and the speed of the game is going to get you, the size of the game is going to get you. And, that was the case, particularly the way we started. We created some natural adversities for us, and we put us behind. I was proud that our players, we kept railing. I believe we got it to 28-14. But when you look at critical down execution, I believe we gave up 8 explosive plays, and 5 of them were in the first half. And you can't, when you play an opponent, and really in college football today, you can't warm up the games. You have to start fast. And this is 2 weeks where we haven't started fast. We had way too many missed assignments on both sides of the football. We did not tackle well starting the game, where I thought Arkansas was a really, really good tackling team on defense. We were inept and didn't have the ability to beat man coverage. They played man coverage. So you're going to be challenged in the run game when a team kind of makes you left-handed and you can't defeat man coverage. So there's a lot of things that, we have to go back and we got to get better. And it's not going to get any easier next week with Iowa State coming to town. But we have to teach this as a learning opportunity. Obviously, this is not to our standard nor our expectation. But critical down execution, they only had 5 third downs the whole game. I don't think I've ever been in a game like that. They averaged over 12 yards per play on first down. So, you're always behind the sticks. So now you can be balanced. You can be a little more aggressive with your play calling. All those that goes into like the nuances of the game. So we have to learn from it. Disappointed, but not discouraged. And we have a long season ahead. But we have to learn from today and move forward.
They attacked you pretty. Actually, first quarter was pretty bad. Defensively, it seemed like maybe.
Thank you for your candor. I agree with you. I agree with you.
But you kind of contained Green later in the second quarter, and it kind of slowed them down a little bit. Was there some change that you guys made there, or?
Eye discipline, fundamentals, doing your assignment. We had a bunch of missed assignments at the beginning of the game. And again, some of those were ability pulls, where he pulls them. And against a talented player like that, if your shoulders aren't square, if your eyes are in the wrong place, he's going to make you pay for it. He was able to do that.
Was part of that slow start just the speed and size, kind of adjusting to that size and speed of the
Well, I talked about it all week long. I mean, this is an SEC program. There's a reason why they're an SEC program. And that doesn't diminish anything with our slow start. That's unacceptable in our program. But there is a size factor. I think you all saw it. There's a speed factor. I think you all saw it. And, and I think in the age of revenue share, I think the distance between conferences have really kind of distanced themselves. You don't see the kind of upsets right now in college football that you've seen in the past. And I think some of that is relative to revenue share. I think some of it is kind of where we're at. But I'm just disappointed because we didn't compete up to the Arkansas State standard. We did not play to a standard tonight. We didn't compete. We didn't play with the effort that's needed. I think, just looking at it on the field, and I'll have time to go back and watch the video on the way home tonight. But I think we were kind of paralyzed a little bit in playing fast. Our eyes were in the wrong spot, so you're going to be a step behind. And that's what I think happened. And I don't know if the moment was too big, but you got to learn from it, and you can't make the same mistake twice.
How big was the shot?
Play from Chauncey Cobb, and then just I think it was the leading receiver as well. So back-to-back games that were different.
I can't say enough about him. Gritty, determined, tough, competitor. Again, he gave us a spark. And again, he's one of those individuals that brings it every day. And I think that's the other thing when, looking at our football team right now, a lot of new faces, and that's no excuse. We have to learn how to value practice. Practice is where you get better. And that's where your preparation comes in. And so, this team needs to learn how to practice better. It starts with me and our demands. It starts with our coaches. But tonight, no matter how quality the opponent, which Arkansas is a really good football team, that's unacceptable in our standard in which we're going to compete.
Penalties were a problem. What adjustments do you want to see with that?
Well, again, situational football in terms of pre-snap penalties. We had a hands to the face that took 7 points off the board. All those are momentum killers, and then it puts you behind the change, obviously. And so it's discipline to execute. It's all those little things. This team right now lacks the small details. I mean, we saw it the way we started last week, but then we overcame that. And when you play good football teams, again, they expose you. So the discipline, and it starts in practice. It starts with doing the little things correct.
Coach Jalen took some sacks today, but he also was able to roll out away from pressure sometimes. How did you feel like he played today?
I know a little bit more, when I watched the video, but I think the alarming thing for me is we pride ourselves with the ability to beat man coverage, and we weren't able to do that on a consistent basis tonight. And so we have to relook at that, because when people have success against you, you're going to see it again. And so, the ability to beat man coverage, I thought Jalen was gritty. There's a couple plays on the interception where, it was a conversion route by the receiver, and Jalen shouldn't have threw the football. But, again, he continues to work exceptionally hard. I think he's making progress. But the byproduct of winning football around a quarterback a lot of times is 10 other individuals executing and doing their job.
Coach, you mentioned that it doesn't get any easier after this. What's the message to the team for Iowa State?
Yeah, we got to learn from it, and we have to be a better practice team. We need to be better for our experience, because we have to get in tomorrow. We got to go to work. We got to figure out the whys. We got to figure out why the lack of focus or attention to detail is the eye discipline. Doing the little things that compromise good football teams. I've seen it, but I told them, the value of a good team is, as a coach, you know what to expect. Good teammates, your teammates know what to expect on a daily basis. Right now, I still don't know what to expect. I think we're still in the infant stages of building our identity with 72 individuals, and still the standard by which you perform. And when you have game speed reps in practice, that allows you to get into the game setting now and go at high speeds, because like I said, the speed of the game completely changed. So your decision-making process, your eyes, your reactionary time is completely different. I didn't think we handled the speed of the game very well.
With back-to-back slower starts on defense, what if anything do you tweak this week to kind of avoid that?
It's really been behind the sticks. When you look at it, again, we gave up 12.2 yards on first down. You're not going to have any success doing that. And again, we've been behind, but I believe they scored on their second or third play of the game. And when you look at it, you have to be ready to start fast. So we always do a team period to start practice on Tuesdays. We'll keep doing it. We got to keep building it as coaches, and we need to keep talking about it.
All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.